Now it's time for our new series, which is Back Lay Each Way for Cheltenham. Yesterday it was Kevin Morley, and it's your turn today. Who are you going to be backing? I know you'll be backing a few, but what's your best bet for Cheltenham?
Yeah, I've got an absolute whole bunch. I mean, the one that I'm still hopeful about is Puffin Billy, who's running in Neptune. I mean, he's absolutely bolted up early on in his career, bumpers and then over hurdles. Was really impressed with him over at Ascot when he never came off the bridle, absolutely cruising. And then was beaten by a Melodic Rendezvous at Exeter over 2 mile and a bit. And however, I don't think he was at his best that day. He was never travelling with the same zest that he travelled in previous races. If you watch all of his previous races, you can go back on the website and watch them all. He was always tanking along, and that day at Exeter, he was just never really going. He just never seemed to be happy, the rider. And he's really, I really do think that he's much better than he showed that day. I expect him to bounce back, and I think the step up to 2.5 to the Neptune will really suit him. So he's going to be a good bet, and he should be a good price coming in off the back of that disappointment.
Now, he was found to be lame after that race at Exeter. Does it bother you at all in the sort of preparation for a race at Cheltenham?
Well, it's not ideal, is it? But it does make sense that it wasn't his best form. You know, like, as I say, there was definitely something he missed that day, and maybe it was the fact that he was lame or he wasn't quite right, whatever. But I've been reading quite upbeat, positive reports recently, and I'm really sure this horse is going to improve when he goes up in distance.
Now, I know you like to lay a few, Graham, so who will you be laying?
Well, there's a few that I don't like. I've been slagging off many a horse on the forum recently. Jeski is a terrible price for me in the Supreme. He's got good form in Ireland in small fields on soft ground, but 5 of his 6 wins have come in single figure fields. All of his wins have been in races with 12 runners or less, and when he's faced more than that, he's been well beaten on both occasions. His figures are 8-5, I think. He was well beaten in the Champion Bumper last year on decent ground, big field behind Champagne Fever. It's going to be a very similar race, the Supreme Novices to the Bumper. It's going to be a huge field, going to go off a good pace, should be decent ground. And I just think he can't handle the hustle and bustle of the field. I have him down as a small field bully, I might be wrong. But I'm dead keen to take him on the place market. I mean, you've got My Tent or Yours in there. I can't see My Tent or Yours being out the free. So you're probably only playing for 2 places behind him. Jeski's around about the 4-1. If he goes off on the day, he's probably going to be around about the even money mark for a place, and I think that's a great lay for a place.
As they run up towards the finish, and Jeski extends his winning run to 4 in a row and wins with some style the Paddy Power Future.
And what's your best each way bet of the festival?
Well, I'm looking at a lot of older horses that are coming down in the weights. There's been a few that caught my eye, and one is Galaxy Rock, who's running in the race, the Kim Muir, I think he's going to go for. The John Joe O'Neill does well with his staying chasers at Cheltenham, and this is another one that has got good course form. I remember him absolutely bolting up in the race there in November one year, and then he came back and he ran quite well there in October. He was second on good ground, and then disappointed next time on soft ground. But soft ground's never suited him. He's never gone well on soft ground, and he raced loads of times towards the end of the season on really bad ground and ran no sort of race each time. But the upside to his poor run of form on bad ground is he's really dropped back down to a nice mark. I mean, he's not much higher than he was when he bolted up that day in November a few years ago. And I expect if we do get a bit at top of the ground, a bit of decent ground, then he will be a big runner in that Kim Muir. The Kim Muir tends to be run by strong stayers, and Galaxy Rock fits that bill.
Yeah, definitely stays really well. All right, well, thank you for that today, Graham.